Good afternoon, this is Chris Brecher with a Simpler Stocks free video for February 23rd, 2016. It's 4:02 Eastern, just after the bell. Basically, today was a follow-through of Friday. This is where it gets tough when I'm on the Simpler Stocks premium side, because I'm sitting here trying to show you how things get overbought in a downtrend, and the problem on a day like today is that you're overbought, you're at resistance, but it just keeps going up. Very dangerous time, because sometimes when markets are overbought, they stay overbought. So what do I mean by that? You get this, and let me magnify it out so you can see what I'm talking about. And what you get is this, where this sort of wiggles up and then wiggles down and wiggles up and stays up, way overbought the whole time. I'm not completely convinced of that yet, but that's what it acted like today. And now you have to open up the possibility that we're going to get over this doji finally, that it capped it for a while and could get up to this level of 2000. It's just a thought. So let me show you overall what happened today. Market actually traded in an incredibly tight range after the opening. So what I wanted you to see in here is right now you have the ES is up. Right now about 24.50, the NASDAQ up 62. Yeah, the Russell underperformed all day, only up 10. It just couldn't get out of its own way. Like I said, yeah, the Dow way up 200. Yeah, the bonds doing nothing. You had the dollar actually way up and gold way down, and you had crude oil up $1.68. The other thing to notice in here is the transport's up 135. Now, the first thing I want to show you on here is what do I think of the overall market. So I'm going to take off the indexes so you know what I'm talking about in here. Basically, this is my problem. Every time we're down here, everybody wants to short it. Every time we're up here, everybody wants to buy it. Now we're in no person's land right in this area. I cannot tell exactly what's going to happen. So what I do is I try to find individual tells that might show me the direction. Now, when I see this on the right and I see that we're right at the 49, but we're this overbought, the only thing I see in here is the squeeze to the upside. But don't forget, and I've published this a lot on the Simpler Stocks premium side, is check out on the left when the NASDAQ squeezed what the bottom was. Check out that when it squeezed to the downside. That was the exact bottom of the NASDAQ. So don't just think because of a squeeze that means that we have to go up. Because my problem is we're overbought at resistance. And the problem with that is if we sell off right here, you'll be like, why didn't I believe Chris? We're overbought in at resistance. I know it could blow through. I go on probabilities though. And the point is that right now when you're this overbought at this resistance, I get worried. Now, am I going to maybe miss this last 40 points in here? Sure, absolutely. I've done it 8 million times of missing opportunities. But the reason I've been in the business 34 years is I go on probability. And when I see this, I just say it's a warning flag on my side. So if we still go up, more power to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to find when we're near resistance, I'm going to be finding opportunities on the short side. Just like in here, let me show you what I'm talking about. When the transports got near support down here, I said it might not be the exact bottom, but it's time to start looking for long opportunities. That's how we found KSU down here. That's how we found UAL. That's how we found CSX. Because the whole idea is when this index, which got way overdone to the downside, had that reversal candle and found support, you had to find the stocks within it that already had started to act pretty good, which was the KSUs, the UALs, the CSXs of the world. Now we're in the opposite environment. We have this. I'll put the SPX so you get an idea. We have this right here where you're way overbought. You know you're overbought when you're almost into this black border right here. But like I said, you could stay overbought. But my thing is when you're at resistance and you're this overbought, I'm a little wary. So what were some of the stocks we looked at? Unfortunately, most of them I looked from the short side still went up today. But let me give you some ideas of how I find them. So number one, I want to show you how we scan on Simpler Stocks Premium for shorts and longs. Right now we have on the left the economically sensitive Dow Jones transports going to where they were in December. To me, the Russell, which is also economically sensitive because the Russell futures, their underline is the Russell 2000. It's composed mainly of high growth stocks. If we have a weakening economy, they underperform. That's why the perception that we had a weak economy is the reason it went down in the first place. That's the reason the transports on the left went down. Russell now, the transports are at this level. To me, that's like the Russell being where it was in mid-December, which is right here. So my idea is to find Russell stocks that could be outperforming and look for good charts. We posted a lot of those on the Simpler Stocks Premium and discussed a lot of them before the opening in the Premium chat. On the different point of view, take the Dow Jones transports on the left. If I can get Thinkorswim to work, give me a second in here. And notice on how low they've gone. Now notice the NASDAQ on the right. And notice that it's relatively outperformed. It's still up at these levels. When really down here, this already broke down a long time ago. So what I did instead was I found positive stocks in the Russell, but then I went to the NASDAQ and went through every NASDAQ 100 stock to try to find some that look bad. And that's how we screen for stocks in there. To give you an idea in here, I then went from NASDAQ 100, then I went to my personal watch list and went to short ideas. Right now, I only had 6. And as you see on here, some of them acted better than others. But what we did was find things like Mondelez. Check Mondelez out on a daily and on a 78-minute. And you'll see that it rallied right to support resistance with a 2 dojis and now ridiculously overbought. The key is, like we could blow up and stay overbought. But the key is to find stocks that are already starting to look poor. Look at Mondelez on here and notice the bearish engulfing candle right here and then the lack of follow through on the upside, and it closed near its low for the last 2 days. So that's on our watch list on the short side. Here's another one, Discovery. Communications. Another one that got overbought is now against resistance in this area. In fact, what it did with earnings is it rallied a little. And I'm watching that one on the short side. Those are the way we find stocks in there. Obviously, when you have the market up 200 points, a lot of the bearish ideas aren't going to work yet. But I'm going to be finding ones in the next 2 days, either in the NASDAQ or the SPX 500. And that's what we post in the Simpler Stocks Premium. At night, I show index charts, and then I show chart ideas. And I'll be showing a number of charts that I think you could look at on the short side, along with some other long ideas. So I hope that helps everybody. I will be with you tomorrow. Like we have a $7 30-day trial, which we've had, like I said, it's over 1,500 people try the trials out, and we've had a huge retention rate of those people over 3 months. So I hope you can try us out, and I think you'll enjoy it. So thank you, and have a nice night.